Happy Tuesday, traders. It is Matt and Jacey with Empire Algorithmic Trading here to bring you your daily dose of VWAP Vision Stock Talk.
Where the volume weighted average price helps us make sense of the markets, Matt. So as always, let's talk some stocks.
Got some talks with talking stocks.
I haven't done that for a while. Let's do some stock talk. Here we go.
All right, Jays, we are in day 2 of the week, so very exciting to see what has happened both yesterday and today. So let's dive into it. What's been going on so far this week?
Yeah, it's been a good week so far. S&P closed up new high today, so we're just going to move that anchor along there. Plop, plop, plop.
Hey.
Nice new high for the new high for the Nasdaq as well. So that gets a new anchor. Small cap sold off a little bit today, which is I guess we're just kind of in the money flows out of smalls, moves into large, and same thing with mids. Mids were actually down almost a full percent. A little
Wow.
surprising there when you're looking at the overall trend. Bonds kind of down a little bit after a big start after breaking out clearly last week. And then the VIX came down a little bit as well, as you would expect with the big caps rolling. But all in all, it's been a really, really good week for growth stocks. I know we were off last night. I didn't really get to see much of anything until pretty much later. And then I sent you a text, was like, it was a huge day for growth stocks, and today that momentum continued. To be honest with you, I didn't even know what the indexes did pretty much until we started looking at them for this episode here. But I've been focused solely on the action of growth stocks. We've had a ton of buy signals this week, and there's been some pretty significant moves.
Well, speaking of growth stocks, speaking of buy signals, speaking of a ton of stuff coming down, let's get into it and figure out who's moving and where they're moving. Now, reminder, all of these movers have been brought to us by our algorithm. So if you want access to those algorithmic daily buy and sell signals, subscribe at our Patreon, patreon.com/Empire Algorithmic Trading. And so, Jace, who's moving? Where are they going?
It's been pretty interesting. It's been kind of a slow roll for this past month. The breakouts of every single one of normally about 20% of the signals just don't even test, right? They hit the buy signal and they just go. Every single breakout we've had over the past month has broke the buy signal. So it's been a really difficult, slow roller, but momentum starting to pick up. We're starting to see some nice follow throughs on the initial day. We're starting to see some follow throughs on those follow throughs. And so it's pretty exciting. And today, IREN was one of those exciting ones. It was up 15% today. The first buy price was obviously down here at $20.70, currently at $30.19. So shook me out at $19.94. It gave me a clear opportunity to buy back. I was too chicken to buy it back, to be honest with you. But even after that buyback price at $21.43, it's at $30.19. IREN is just on fire. Wi-Fi, this one I did buy back. I bought it at $17.91. It traded down. It stopped me out at $16.24. Blasted out today. This is a shakeout. I'm going to zoom this chart back a little bit to kind of give a little better look there. But this is a shakeout breakout, right? So it broke, it tested, and then it just blasted right back today. Never flashed a sell signal. Our studies have found that stocks that do this tend to roll, and IREN is actually a perfect example of that. It was down almost 15% from its buy price, never flashed a sell signal, and then it just took off from there. So I took a big position on Wi-Fi today, hoping that history repeats itself. And then BBNX, another one that did a shakeout breakout. It sold off hard. I didn't really participate on the first initial buy. I was really tempted on the second one, but we were right in a red zone. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to let this one pass. And it is on a tear. It is up another 8% on top of yesterday's massive 14% move. Original buy price was $17.26. The second buy signal was $17.45. It's currently at 25. Very nice looks.
Wow.
And then, of course, we always talk about downside action. So, of course, the big downside losers, which is what I'm really like to see, are the ones that have already failed, right? So one, it's a good example of why you cut your losses. But two, when the biggest selling is in already the losers and the biggest movers are in the winners, that's a good look. That's what you want to see. So FFAI was down 7.4%. This was just garbage at the start. Ton Strategy, that was down 6.5%, but that was just well well off its highs, so that should have gotten you out already. And then Jefferson Capital, which has been kind of volatile all over the place, that sold off hard, down 3%. It's kind of
Wow.
wild when that's the third most strongest sell-off, and it was down only 3%. And our third strongest buy or up day was up 8%. That tells you the bulls were in control, the buyers
Good
were in
job.
control. Even though we had a little bit of a mixed session on the major averages, all in all, we're still in the green zone, man, and things are
Yes.
really starting to pick up. That momentum underneath is starting to go. I hope it holds. I think the CPIs tomorrow, I'll be honest with you. I have no idea if there's any news dropping the rest of the week. And frankly, I don't care. I'm just watching the general markets, price and volume action. I'm watching leading stocks, and they're leading me into the market. I was kind of stressed out because I'm like, man, things are starting to hit some highs. Breakouts are really going. I need some good breakouts to get into. And they hit today. So I put a lot of money in. We had a heck of a watch list last night, and I was going through and I'm like, I'm going to trade this. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy this. Next thing I know, the whole list I had, I'm going to buy this. I'm buy this. So it was a pretty active day for me. Put a lot of money back into the market today. The holdings that I held on to are working out very well. So it's a pretty exciting time. I'm just hoping nothing comes from the outside that's unexpected, blindsides the market, because that tends to happen to me. So we'll see. We'll see if history repeats itself. But right now, it's all systems go. I think it's safe to put some money at risk. As always, follow your rules. We have an easy 2.5% one-day stop. If it flashes a buy signal, if it trades down 2.5% or more the following day, just cut your base. So really, after that is 5%. You could really want to give it down to 5%, no more than that. So really, if you position right, you're really risking a small amount of money on each trade. So you could be relatively aggressive on your buys. So it's nice having that in our back pocket to where when buyers are in control and the stocks are living above their VWAP, that's when we want to get our money in place. So just yeah, it was a good day. Yesterday was a fun day. I'm excited for tomorrow. And then, of course, tomorrow we're going to be off as well. So I'm going to be out of town, and then hopefully we'll be back on Thursday. It all depends on how things go Thursday morning for me. But I'm planning on being here again on Thursday, but we'll be off again tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well, that's it for us today here. So make sure, for those of you who have not subscribed, get over to our Patreon and subscribe so you can check out the Arrow reviews. We had a ton come through last night, and I have a feeling we're going to get a bunch more tonight. So our Arrow reviews is where we talk about the upcoming stocks that are poised for a breakout and right there. So watch in the market tomorrow and make your aggressive moves then. Get access to that over at Patreon, patreon.com/empire algorithmic trading. Again, daily buy sell signals from our algorithm. You get our error reviews every single day. You get access to our educational videos where we talk about how we use this in our trading. And you also just get a cool group of traders over there. So make sure patreon.com/empire algorithmic trading. We'll see you there. Thank you for listening on Spotify, watching on YouTube. Hit the like, subscribe, rate, and review us as well. If you want to learn more about who we are, what we do, check out our website. That's VWAPvision.com, VWAPvision.com. And if you want to follow us on socials, check out our Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter. You can get over there, or I guess I should say X, formerly known as Twitter. Wherever you digest your daily trading information, we are there. So make sure to follow us there as well. And Jace, as always, until Arrow reviews, happy trading, buddy.
Happy trading, my friend. We'll see you in a little bit.